You haven't come across this video by chance. You're looking for a system to synchronize your scores and the whole orchestra. Welcome to the Livebook PRO demonstration site. Want to test Livebook PRO? Well, head over to maestro.ovh to see if it suits you, and perhaps later on switch to Pro mode. I'll show you that right now. You'll be able to use the 5 tracks already in place in demo mode to add your own songs. To start with, I'll go into the editor and choose the interface language. Livebook is available in 6 languages, so I'll choose English. Once that's done, we can move on to our very first edit. Here, I'm not going to delete the basic text, you see, I'll just insert some chords. Chords are always in square brackets. Here, I'll insert a C, then a bit further along, we'll put an F. Over G. There we go. Next, I can improve the layout by centering the text using the right-click center menu. I'll select everything and center it with a simple click. I'm now going to show you live transposition. I call it live because there's another transposition in the editor, but we'll come back to that later in Pro mode. There, perfect. I'll go back to editing, click next to go to the next track, and I could repeat the process for my other songs. Now I'll do a refresh to show you that the track stays in the memory. There, it hasn't been renamed yet. I'll do that right now. I'll go back into the editor. The red alert, you see, is completely normal. It prevents you from accidentally overwriting an existing track. I'll insert the title and the artist. I'll save, even though autosave is enabled up there. I'll save anyway, just to be safe. You can never be too careful. As you can see, the track is properly listed. Here, it's at the bottom because it's in alphabetical order. I'll exit and refresh to show you that the tracks remain in the browser. That's perfect. In conclusion, demo mode is for trying out Livebook without any commitment, obviously. The Livebook editor, this is where you'll be able to add some colour, center the text and transpose as much as you like. For editing, we recommend using a PC, even though it's fully compatible with tablets, but it's just much more practical with a keyboard and a mouse. Once again, it's very simple. You just need to log in from your PC and reload your database directly. Well, here I am now at my computer in demo mode. I'm now going to log in using my email and my password to connect to my room. And finally, retrieve my database as simply as can be from the File menu. And here it is. Now, for every new track, it's essential to start with a new button, just to start from scratch by initializing all the parameters. The previous and next buttons are the equivalents of the horizontal swipe on a tablet. Here you have the save button to save the current track, with the little automatic option just below, which is self-explanatory really. Regarding the export and import buttons, I'll come back to those at the end of this video. Well, the title, I'll let you guess. The artist too, all that is pretty self-evident. Now we come to the format. Now, don't confuse this with the language option just below, which is used for sorting. The format menu is used to set the chords to either French or US American style, or you can even remove the chords altogether. The PDF format is a separate system that will be the subject of a future video. Just below that, we find style, pattern, and tempo. So this is exactly where we'll assign the MIDI program changes depending on your device. Well, let's not get sidetracked from our main topic. Let's move on to the editor's right-click menu, which is organised by category. Right at the top there, we find the edit menu. So that's everything to do with copying and pasting. Next, we have the insert menu. As you might have guessed, this is where we can insert chorus and verse labels. Just below that, we find the 7 existing colour tags. Now, once again, regarding the colour tags, the N tag stands for the base colour. So basically, it's black on a white background and white on a black background. Speaking of changing the background colour, we can find that under Preferences in the Skin section, right at the top. Next comes the text section. Not much to explain here either, it's all quite straightforward. You select a section of text in the editor and you can set it to either uppercase or lowercase. And the third option allows you to capitalise the first letter of every sentence. And that includes the punctuation. The alignment section. You select some text and you set it to the left. In the centre, or even to the right if you like, with an extra option for a left indent too. I'll let you go and see what it means. Left indent, you'll see. Even I was surprised by it. Just a quick side note, we suggest editing with the text left aligned, then recentering at the end, simply for better visibility. The chord section. Adding or changing a chord, well, we're all set there. There you go. It gives us the 2 brackets, and we put the chord we want inside. Convert to Livebook format, align the chords. I'll let you check out the video on Express Sheet Music to discover these 2 powerful options. You'll see, it's great. Here we have the editor's transpose feature. And finally, the display section. So this is for showing chords and tags in colour on the editor side. It makes editing easier. You can also change the font size. But anyway, a word of advice. Do you use it sparingly though? Ah yes, I forgot. Utilities, compact line breaks. It lets you remove all those unwanted line breaks. Here's the demonstration. So that's it for simple and practical editing using the right click, which gives access to all the options. Livebook's built-in MIDI system, which lets you control your synths and drum machines directly from your sheet music, and it does so universally. Now, when we say universal, it's possible that some synthesizers might not be able to work with it just yet. Don't hesitate to write to us at the technical service at maestro.ovh, who will do what's needed. I'll show you that right now. The famous MIDI tab, right here. I can find my sound card here. In this case, the Focusrite. The profile, well, that'll depend on your equipment according to the manufacturer or the year of your synth. You'll need to test the different options. Program change, MIDI sync. We also have a legacy mode for much older models. The MIDI input, listen. So every time you plug in a MIDI system, like a USB MIDI cable, it will be listed right here. The channel used here. I'm using channel 1. Program number. So depending on the manufacturers, some go from 1 to 128, others from 0 to 127. These are the bank numbers. You can select them here. You'll need to refer to your user manual for that. Retry MIDI is for resetting the MIDI. MIDI diagnostic shows you the info you need to know. 2 tests are possible. Program change and note C2 via the channel assigned here to test directly on your connected device. And where Livebook is really impressive, if we go into the edit menu, note that for each loaded track, Well, you can assign a bank with its combination and potentially its own tempo. All of that is saved properly along with a database. So, as you'll have gathered, the strength of Livebook Pro is not only being able to sync sheet music and make TVs available to the audience, but also to sync all the orchestra synths, knowing that each slave can control its own device. You've decided that's it, you've got your subscription, well, that's perfect. Today we're going to get down to business and see how we can find sheet music on the internet to put into Livebook Pro format. And in the simplest way possible, really. So we'll start by going to a well-known website, which I won't name, and we're going to copy the track. Here we have the famous Dirty Old Town. Select it on the page. We're going to copy it. Over to Livebook, we click on New and then Paste. We right-click in the editor and convert to Livebook format. It asks me if the chords are above or below. In this case, they're above. I'll fill in the table. The artist is the Pogues. The language this song is in English. I'll save it. And that's it. The hard part's done. We'll remove this. And there we go. The track is almost finished. Afterwards, we can have fun adding some colours. So here, I'm going to start by adding black. Here, we'll add some blue. Here, some green. And we'll be able to centre all of that to make it look nice. We select the text. Then we simply click on centre and wait. And there we go. Calculating the cache, and now we're ready to play. Exchanging and sharing on Livebook Pro. Here's another handy little feature. The export and import button that lets you swap songs from your repertoire with each other. We've integrated a PDF system for every song. So why did we do that? Quite simply because sometimes you might have a brass section, for example, that needs traditional sheet music. This allows every slave device, every music stand, to display the score in either Livebook or PDF format, meaning traditional sheet music. Now, that might sound a bit confusing, but I'll show you right now. To insert a PDF into a song, it couldn't be easier. Just head to the editor, the Format tab, switch to PDF, and drop your PDF file right here. And save it. From now on, this song will be available not only in PDF format, but also in English or French, just like all the songs in Livebook Pro. That way, everyone can keep either the Livebook Pro format or the PDF format. And now you're going to say, it doesn't fill the whole page. And you're right, this PDF is in portrait mode, so you'll need to turn your tablet to portrait for the best possible display. There we go, with the integrated PDF mode, everyone's happy. Today we're going to look at playlist management. It's very useful for those who have either several bands or several set lists, depending on where they're playing. I'll show you right now. To create playlists, it's incredibly simple. Once again, Livebook Pro has thought of everything. Go right up to the top bar and press the load button. You'll notice the delete button here, which lets you remove a song from the database. But that's not what we're here for. Click on the playlist button. Then new playlist and rename it with whatever name you want. Here, my playlist. We now have a screen split into three parts that are fully resizable. Once that's done, I can add songs however I like, as many as I want. I can also choose the order directly by simply dragging and dropping with a mouse. I can also delete songs from my playlist here using the little cross. You see, really, it's very intuitive. If I want to delete a playlist, I put my playlist in the bin here. Now, a quick side note regarding the slide. If I search by title, the swipe will be in alphabetical order. If I start a playlist, the swipe will follow the playlist order, which is very handy. So in concert, we scroll through the songs and everything synchronizes, as you can see, automatically. To exit playlist mode, just press the search button. And there we find our Livebook system with all the songs in alphabetical order. So much for playlist management. As you've seen, it's simple, fast, and so practical. The master and his slaves, or the conductor and his musicians. How to control all that, you'll see. It's child's play. I'll show you that now. To connect a slave from the master, nothing could be simpler. Just go to the Slave tab. Enter your collaborator's email and they'll receive the link directly in their inbox. They'll just have to click and everything will happen absolutely automatically. The flash cache. What's it for? The flash cache, well, it's used to make synchronization smoother. In fact, it's the little button at the top left with a little flash drawn on it. It will calculate all the layouts, which means we'll gain speed in displaying the scores on each slave and on all the TVs. So there, we click on it and it stores it. If we want to calculate all the songs in a database, we do exactly the same procedure with the Shift button pressed. It'll go through all the songs in the database and put them in memory. To finish with the slaves, it's also possible to synchronize Livebook directly with a QR code by selecting it via your phone. And obviously, Maestro is fully compatible on mobile phones. It's very handy when you don't want to take your tablet directly and you have good eyesight, obviously. Here is Livebook on a phone. In landscape, as in portrait,